Hi everyone, Luke here from LSW Audio. Thank you for tuning into the channel. Today we've got two monsters in the lounge. We have got the Wharfedale CPD 1600 power amps. Very excited for this video. So basically in this video we're going to be explaining the specs of the two monsters power amps. So cool, so the Wharfedale CPD 1600 is a fantastic amp. But we're going to explain the specs a bit so you can just get an understanding. So anyway, it's a 400 per channel in 8 ohms. It's a 600 per channel in 4 ohms. And the number over here tells you how much is going to be bridged in 4 ohms. The 600 basically is 1600 RMS bridged in 4 ohms. But it does give you an 8 ohm reading as well, which is 1200 RMS. He is class A and B. You might be thinking, what's class A and B? Well, class A and B is Hifi technology. So you get the top quality sound of a good quality Hifi amp. Not just any Hifi amp, a quality Hifi amp. Something that will cost you a lot of money. So it's got the quality, but it's also got the immense amount of power for PA amps, for using him for a band or a rave concert or something like that. But another cool thing is not just the class A and B, but it's got very low distortion. The distortion figure is 0.02. Now I use my stuff for home use, so I like my quality sound, low distortion, easy on the ear, but very loud and dynamic. So the nice thing is, with low distortion is, you can actually push the amps a lot louder than what you can with other amps. But I don't push them. But the nice thing is, even the booklet of the Wharfedale amp will show you, make sure your volumes are at 3 o'clock on the volume when you do sound checks and stuff. But because the distortion is so low, it's not harsh, it's very mellow, and it's absolutely amazing. So that's the Wharfedale amp. Now, as you'll see, what I like about the Wharfedale amps is they're basic. They've got no computer screens and other little things and temperature gauges, a power button and 2 volume knobs. And then they put all their effort into the massive transformers this amp has, which is pretty cool. You got your limiters, you got your signal, you got your protection light, and you got your power icon, which is amazing. So anyway, let's turn the amp around and I'll show you a little bit more about what's going on in the back. As you can see, nice, it's got dual fans for each channel. It's got your speaker on inputs where you plug the speakers in. It's got your line inputs, whether it's a line out or a line in. Your power cable, a very nice thick cable, nice strong build, which is very nice. You've got your fuse over here. I'll get to the little switches at the back now, but what's nice about this amp is its power consumption. It chows a lot. It's got a heavy power consumption. It's got 2200 watt power consumption per amp, meaning you're actually going to get your proper 600 RMS out of him. So that's guaranteed, that's proper power you're getting out of him. It's not like 250 watts and supposedly it's 1000 per channel. You're getting proper watts out of him. And he's pretty heavy as well, he's 16.5 kilos. But now, going on at the back here, you got your limiter, so you can turn him off or on. I prefer to keep him on because basically, if you're going to be using the amp for what he's intended for, band, rave concert, stuff like that, it's good to keep him on, because if your signal is too strong or your signal is too harsh, you can still push the amp louder if need be, but the limiters will come on and make sure that you don't mess up your speakers with the harshness and all of that, and keep everything still sounding nice and crisp. So I would leave it on. Okay, your modes, you got your stereo mode, channel left and channel right. Each volume knob controls each channel, right, for stereo, left and right. Okay, now you get parallel. Now what's parallel? So basically, if you're going to have any stereo, you're going to have one XRR to the left, one XRR to the right. Okay, now parallel means it's going to make those two signals, it's going to combine them in one. So you just need one cable, one signal input to control both volume knobs, if you understand what I mean. Then you get bridged mode. Now what's bridge mode? Bridge mode is when you connect the two channels into one and you get more than 3 times the power. When you bridge him, instead of 600 per channel, you're going to get 1600 RMS, but only out of the one channel. Okay, now there's going to be a part 2 of this video where I'm going to explain to you how the bridge mode works, because the Wharfedales don't have a dedicated channel. They don't have a third channel here where you take the speaker on, you plug into the bridge mode and you access that 1600 RMS. You will have to modify your cables. You have to switch them inside, but I'm going to do that on a part 2 video. Alright, and then I'm also going to show you how to clean the amp on part 2 of its video. But this was just explaining the quality of him, the specs of him. And one more thing I want to add is the amp is absolutely amazing. I've had other PA amps. For instance, I've had the hybrid B1200, which is the same specs and is in competition with the Wharfedale CPD 1600. But in my opinion, generally the amp is absolutely terrible. His 0-1 distortion, it's way too high. One click on the volume and he popped my tweeter on my Bull 15s. He sounded extremely harsh. There's nothing, and it was a Class D amp. There's nothing wrong with Class D, but you have to have good quality circuitry and it must be low distortion. But I bought the Wharfedale and it's absolutely amazing. So there we go, that's the video on the Wharfedales. There's going to be a part 2 coming out soon. But cool, stay tuned and thanks for tuning into the channel, much appreciated.